Good night, good night. Oh, I'm in the gym right now. I just had a lot on my mind about some other stuff. But got an email from Adrian Thomas in the usual email group. Let's see if anybody's in here. Okay. No music. Okay, so got an email from Adrian Thomas in the usual email group, and I wanted to talk about Johnathan Majors doing a interview on TV. My thoughts about it. Me personally, I don't think he should be doing an interview on, say, your traditional classic media outlets. I think it should be something, maybe he can do a follow-up interview, but he should be in total control of his media and whoever he has as his PR firm or something like that. You know, he should be, what is it? He should be in total control of that. It hasn't even come out yet or anything else like that. So we don't know what it's going to bring, what it's going to be about. I haven't even seen like a clip or something like that, a preview of it or anything like that. But I'm just thinking, like, I was thinking, like, I made that video a while back about, you know, what men will do and stuff like that, or what men should look at this as, especially in the spaces that we frequent. And I really do feel like, I really do feel like, in terms of getting the most impact when it comes to emotion, getting people on his side and understanding what this means for not only just men, but especially black men in America. It should be something that he controls, should be a little bit more personal, close to the vest, excuse me, and also should use mediums or media outlets or things, media distribution outlets, YouTube, Twitch, things like that, that would allow him to control that narrative to a greater extent, right? So I even thought about, like, if I was to, like, be a Johnathan Majors or in his position, right? Like, how I would handle it. Like, for instance, I'm in this room now, right? And I would have the lights out. I'd have, like, low to no light, maybe even black and white at some point that would fade into, or that would transition into color. And then once it transitions into color, almost like some type of, like, if you remember the Seal cover, or Seal used to have covers where it was like, I think it was him, like, but he would be like, you know, it'd be him naked, but like, it would be like he's bearing all in the album is what the image invokes, right? Like, oh, he's bearing all, you know, and it was him where it was like black and white, and you would see, like, you know, I think he'd had a pose where both arms were up, head was down, things like that. You know, that's old school thinking of it, an old school way of expression, so to speak. But it is something where you can see, you know, these are the same fans I have at home. These are good fans. I like these. But it would invoke some type of emotion where the person's bearing it all. And then maybe it moves into something like where he's doing a ballet dance number or something like that, and he's just moving through the space. Maybe he doesn't dance. Maybe he just walks and he just thinks. And it's not vocal. You don't see his mouth moving, but really he's talking, he's narrating his own thoughts as he's going through different motions. Another way of thinking of this in terms of, like, expression, if you ever watch Adele, like, probably Adele's biggest breakout song, I think it's Should I Give Up or Should I Keep on Chasing Pavements? Great song, amazing song. The first video was awesome because what it showed is this couple that got into a car accident and then they got moved apart. But what they did is they were laying down on the pavement and they were just dancing across that pavement. I don't know how they did that, but it was amazing. I don't know if they had a stand-up set to where they can move, but really, like, you could see them, like, they were just moving across the pavement. And I thought that was really cool because you don't really see Adele in that. Actually, yeah, I don't think in that one you saw Adele. I think there was, like, another video of her, like, actually walking on, I don't know. And it was, like, personal view. But what was cool about it is you didn't really see the artist. It was just the visual representation of that person's emotion, right? So then what do I think? So in terms of what I think and how he should move forward, I really do think he should control his own media, control the narrative, and do a lot of things that would not clear his name, so to speak, but take his name out of the mud, put him in better light so that he can actually make a comeback in acting. In certain roles, I've seen him. In certain roles, I've seen him. I've liked him, especially in like Kang or as Kang the Conqueror. I don't think it was like a very breakout or big role or anything like that, but I think he had. I think there are other roles. There's one series or one show on Netflix where it's like a lot of black people in a Western and stuff like that. So I have to rewatch that. I believe it was Idris Elba was in there. But I think it's something. Idris Elba in Suicide Squad was actually good too. Like Suicide Squad was really good. But something that really shows the light of his talent, right? Allows his talent to really shine bright. Is something that I would look for. Something that maybe a more expressive role, if that makes sense, especially at this time, you know, after all of this. Because, and even if it was a piece where he talks and he starts to really get men behind him, right? You know, it really talks about what he's gone through. Because even if you look at people like, oh man, I don't know the guy's name. I do not remember. I think he talked with Tommy Sotomayor back in the day, but it was one of the Winslows from Steve Urkel, the Steve Urkel show. And his battles through child support and stuff like that. Now, I don't know that full story, but you can see this guy, he's getting locked up because of like not paying child support and some other things that are also going on in his life and how that has affected him. But what if men really started to go out and, you know, take advantage of the environment and take advantage of the narrative as it is now and say, okay, logically, let's look at this. Let's see how we can not just exploit it, but use this and ride this wave. And if not ride this wave, help build it up so someone else can ride it into the future, right? To really change things for men. Now, he may not be thinking about that because he's seeing that his life is, quote unquote, being destroyed around him because, you know, of really just bullshit. You know, pretty much you've been reckless assault. It's just like, you know, you're swatting a fly and then like somebody's face is behind you and then you slap the shit out of them. It's like, oh, I ain't mean to do that, you know? But even talking about his, and again, this is a feeling and thought or thinking portion of it. But, you know, if he talks about how he, what he went through with that and then how he felt and really started touching the hearts of men, I think that could be a really positive thing for him moving forward. But that's something where, you know, he's going to have to really think about that and approach it in a way. And then also approach it in a way that he's unapologetic about it. And when I say unapologetic, I mean like he's not going to back down. He's not going to he's not going to do a Snoop Dogg where he's going to start crying or something like that because of statements that he made or anything else like that. And it's just like, it's so quick how men, it's funny how quick men are easily chopped down because of something that they said for one reason or another. So if he can actually capitalize on this and put himself in a situation that makes sense, or put himself in a situation that makes sense for his career and then also makes sense and makes an impact, that would be great. But maybe an impact is not what he wants, and that's not what he's thinking about, which also makes sense, you know, because you have people, you see how that works out with people like even white people, Keanu Reeves. Now, nothing as bad has happened to Keanu Reeves, but there's some things that you notice about him in terms of how he deals with women out in the open, and also how he stays low key for the most part. But then you even see somebody like Henry Cavill, who is basically somewhat being made an example of, where some of the things that he said in the past, you know, or some of the things that he said out there about source material for like The Witcher, or even things that he said in the media, he's lost some parts, or he's not been able to go back into certain roles because, you know, kind of like, you know, slap on the wrist type stuff, right? Or a little slap on the hand with the ruler or something like that. Hey, listen, you're speaking out of turn. Calm down, man. Little boy. You know, you see a lot of that stuff that's happening. So it's like men really can't talk out, but when are men really going to be brave enough to actually really go out? Now, I'm not saying, hey, listen, he should really go out and reach out to Andrew Tate, Tommy Sotomayor, BGS, or anybody else in the space, Angry Man, anyone else that, Bernard Riley, anybody else in the space that would hear him out and really give him a good listen. But I really don't like the fact that he's going to traditional media. I understand it. I understand what he's trying to do, and also probably even get into the good graces of Marvel and even just overall movies right now. It's not movies, but if he's trying to get back into the good graces of the movie studios. We don't really know all of the things that were behind his, I think it was his publicist, and I heard that, and I didn't confirm that myself, but his PR firm dumped him pretty much and moved on. But you don't know why. It could be because, or I don't know why, but it could be because, hey, listen, maybe they say, hey, you should not really be messing with this chick or something like that. Or it could be that, hey, you're looking bad out here. We don't want to represent you anymore, and we don't want to be a part of that. Where it's like, hey, listen, you're not even doing anything like to really help me move forward with the career, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things in this, and I think really what he should do is not really on get back or anything else like that, but put himself in a position for the reach back, right? The reach back being, damn, I know that's been there the whole time. It's been bothering me. I've been like looking at it the whole time. Anyways, wow, that doesn't, all right, that's not, okay, whatever. But I think he should put himself in a better position all in all, or also like, yeah, he should put himself in a better position so that he can ensure, maybe a smoother life. Maybe he won't reach the same level of stardom because he's been quote unquote knocked off. But we've seen this, man. So many black men in general are being put out there in scandals. You're seeing Diddy, TD Jakes and stuff like that, whether true or not, but you're starting to see where any toxic relationships or anything that we do and that we put out there or that we do. And again, those are the extreme of us, especially with what they've been accused with. And I'm not quote unquote defending it. And I'm not also saying, hey, listen, I'll never listen to a Diddy track, or I'll never listen to a TD Jakes motivational tape or something like that. But I will say that, there's a pattern here where a lot of these people are being put out, and a lot of these people are being put out not just because of their, what's it called? They're behind their backdoor dealings or things that they do behind closed doors that would be seen as predatory, reprehensible, not good, and pedophilic in some cases. But, we're seeing where a lot of this is being put out there as entertainment and distractions of what's going on. And it's also, you start to see where a lot of this stuff hits the news. In good times, you hear about this stuff, but it's not as much. But in bad times, or the times before the bad times, a lot of this stuff starts to crack. And why does it start to crack? Maybe these people are paying other people behind the scenes, and these people start to come out. And because the economy is doing bad, that person is doing bad. So no, they can't give any more of those payments to shut people up anymore, right? So people start to really come out. So you're seeing this Epstein list and all this other stuff. And it's like, what is this really doing? How is this a distraction? Also, what are we doing to protect ourselves and protect our minds and put ourselves in a position so that we can survive all of this and make a move where necessary? But, these are things that I think about when I see like a Johnathan Majors, when I see some of the things that are happening right now in media, and also moving forward, how do we control the narrative with our own media and through our own mediums, like we control what happens on a certain channel or something like that. I think Johnathan Majors should really start pumping a YouTube channel or something like that, become monetized immediately. And then once he gets monetized, then go ahead and starting to put ads and other things out there. Maybe he's just looking for a money grab so he can pay his legal fees. That's another thing. So there's pressures like that. Anyways, with that being said, I definitely think this is something that, I would love for him to I wish he would have considered other means. Sorry. Maybe he did consider it. I don't know. But I wish he would have went with other means. There we go. Of distributing his side of the story, so to speak, and his feelings and things like that. And then also, I hope this doesn't really affect his case later on, which I'm sure certain things might be used from his interview. Yeah. So I have to actually check out for a preview of this interview. And if anything, I'll link it in the community tab or something like that. But I'm going to check for something. I think it's like on ABC, NBC. Anyways, with all that being said, wish you guys all the best. Love you all. Be safe. Be strong.